morning, Panther fans. I don't think I'm going to wipe this grin off my face all day. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the case of the Florida Panthers have no chance against the Boston Bruins, we find the defendant not effing guilty. How you doing, Stu?
Very good.
Yes. Yeah. So, where do we start? Let's just,
why don't we share? Well, first of all, for those that have never seen our videos, welcome to Flying Fluffy Sports, aka Flying Fluffy Hockey.
The shirts say Flying Fluffy Hockey. I didn't want to do that to Stu, so I left the shirt logo with our faces, Flying Fluffy Hockey, because we're the Flying Fluffy Hockey department of Flying Fluffy Sports.
And what is Flying Fluffy Hockey, Eric?
No, no, I can't even get it out. The number
one Panther fan podcast in the world.
He says it. I can't say that.
Anyway,
I want the number one podcast in the world. That's what I want. I want to replace Rogan.
So let's start with we're going to share some words, pearls of wisdom from yours truly. So before the series started, I put out this tweet to the world.
Hold on. I'm coming. Where the hell is it? Oh. Okay. There we go. Can you read it?
No, you might want to enlarge it for everybody.
It won't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, it says, to my fellow Panther fans, nobody is giving us a snowball chance in hell to beat the Bruins. I say, F them. Here's a new hashtag for the boys. Why not us? Let's go Panthers. Hashtag we want the cup.
Now, at that time, I had 87 likes. I don't know if that's gone up or whatever, but I proved my point. And
yes,
so that's how I kind of started because you know what? We didn't have the best of seasons last year, but you know what? The LA Kings got in by the skin of their chinny chin chin, and they won the cup. St. Louis Blues were the last place team at the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
They went on a tear and won the Stanley Cup.
With a completely unknown goalie, by the way.
And a new coach, an interim coach, Craig Berube.
That's right.
Now, last year we won the President's Cup, and quite frankly, we all know we were embarrassed getting swept by Tampa. So, you know, I got a little chip on my shoulder this year. And thank you, Alex Lyon, for coming in and just what can you say? Okay, so that's my first tweet. All right, so yesterday, my phone, now I was busy with working and whatnot, and my phone started blowing up. I don't know when it was, 12 o'clock. Adam sent me a tweet. This guy, Rob, sent me a tweet. Text. I was getting text messages, boom, boom, boom. Did you hear Bennett's in? Stu, Bennett's playing tonight. So I was like, holy shit. Game on. So I put this tweet out after I saw Elliot Friedman, who is, Elliot Friedman. He's the guy on the inside of anything that goes on in the NHL. Elliot Friedman is usually the guy. If he posts it, it's true. So this is the tweet I put out after I saw, and it was confirmed that Sam Bennett was playing last night.
Yes.
Need to enlarge that a little bit.
Geez. Here we go. Okay, there we go. He just says game changer, hashtag let's go Cats.
Okay.
Whoop.
All right. So what do I do after that? How do I top myself? So Eric and I, as you know, we talked about things that had to be done to win game 2. And at the end of the video, we talked about the importance of getting more than one goal in the game. Right? Didn't we say that?
Yep.
I mean, Lyon could play a great game, but if we only get one goal against the Bruins, it ain't getting the job done. So I put out So I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So
Hey,
this is what I put out, thinking, maybe Steve Goldstein will see this, and anyway, here's the tweet I put out.
so he says, "Hey, goalie on ice, have Florida Panthers fans
Make it a
near."
little larger. Can you?
I usually don't get that complaint, Miro. I'm usually in pretty good.
There you go.
Hey, at Goldie on Ice, at Florida Panther fans, and near and far, want to hear you call a lot of Panthers goals tonight. The one I'm anxious to hear is the one scored by Sam, Benny, and the Jets. Bennett. Hashtag Let's Go Panthers. Hashtag Beat the Bruins. Hashtag We Want the Cup. At Hey Red Deer. Well done.
Okay. And at some point before the game started, what did I text you? Do you remember what I texted you?
I don't remember. You expect me to remember? I'm on camera for 4 hours last night. I don't remember.
Well,
you're lucky I remember the game.
Let's see. Let's see what I texted.
A lot during the game.
And I texted you like at the beginning of the game, which I think was like a minute into the game, that the team looks so different, blah, blah, blah. Goose, I call Forsling Goose. He looked better. And then I said something like, if I can find it, I said something to the effect like, Bennett's going to score tonight. Tell everybody on the stream.
He did. So. He did say that. I just didn't get to it because my phone was blowing up as we were getting goals. The people that don't normally text me, I just couldn't keep up.
It was the first goal, bro. But I did tell you. Tell everybody on the stream. Stu says Bennett's getting a goal tonight, and what happens? First goal,
and we didn't even realize it went in. We didn't even realize that it went in until they started celebrating because Bennett followed it in.
Well,
it's funny because my dad, to add to the hey, I got it right shtick. My dad all year, he doesn't watch the games, right? He just texts with me during the stream, and it doesn't matter what. Every goal, even when Bob's not playing, every goal is Bob's fault. And all year long, now he doesn't watch the games. And all year long, we just need a goalie. We just need it. He doesn't watch it. He has no idea what's going on the ice. But of course, now we get Alex Lyon in, and we have the winning streak, and we're beating Boston in the playoffs. And what do I get from my dad? See, I told you we needed a goalie. And I can't even argue with him. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Well, as you know, I like to watch the replay, the highlights of the game numerous times. So when I come on here, I can dissect the plays.
Yeah.
And watching that Bennett goal, Matthew Tkachuk is not only a very talented player, he's a very smart player. He's in the league of hockey IQ genius, like Wayne Gretzky.
Wow.
A player that can foresee two moves ahead. Because on the Bennett goal, it was bang, bang, quick. He just, out of instinct, it's like a quarterback that leads the receiver.
Yeah.
Throws it in one spot, expecting the receiver to be there when the ball gets there.
I just want to pause and say I've got Stu using football analogies now.
Well,
holy crap. I'm gonna stroke out.
it's like visualize that. And that's exactly what Tkachuk did on that play. Bennett wasn't in the spot yet, but Tkachuk put it right where he needed it. It bounced. Bennett got around his guy and bang, it was in. Beautiful. So you tell me, guys and gals, when Bennett scored that goal, did you think we were going to win the game? I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I felt good.
I'm like, we're winning this game tonight.
Yeah.
The team just had the spark plug that was not sparking,
right,
was replaced with a brand new spark plug.
look, him being in the lineup, we've talked about this. We have no depth. So especially what the hell? Barkov, Kachuk, and Bennett. I got Barkov and Kachuk at the same time, but Barkov, Kachuk, and Bennett. If any one of those guys goes out,
Just say Chucky.
there's nobody. It's the lineup is toast. We've got to have those guys because then our centers are appropriately. And you notice Lundell had a decent night last night. Even though I kind of feel bad for Lundell because it's basically like, all right, who's playing like shit? Let's put him with Lundell on the third line. You know what I mean?
Well, Luosterainen was a beast last night.
He was.
And Luosterainen, Bennett, and Kachuk is a dynamite line.
Yeah.
Dynamite line. And I know, again, they put Reinhart with Lundell because that they have such chemistry. Right. The one bad move by Maurice was putting Anthony Duclair on there. Again,
who else? If you want to keep
anybody but Duclair. Because I've said, what is the definition of insanity?
I know.
It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And last night, it proved again what I've been saying almost in every video. Anthony Duclair's got to go. He's done. He's toast. So not only did I mention the fact that he's been ineffective offensively, and he had a couple of chances last night, and I knew he wasn't going to score, but he makes one of the most blatant bonehead F-ups, something that you never do in a regular, in a playoff game, let alone regular season. First of all, we're on a power play, okay? We get an opportunity to get our second goal because when I said to you, well, the other thing I said to you before, keys to the game, is getting Lyon a 1 or 2 goal game. Yeah. I mean, a lead.
Lead, right.
And working with the lead.
Right.
It's always good for a goalie to have, a little bit of cushion, let's just say.
Right.
So, anyways, Duke gets bounced off the puck against the boards, and what does he effing do? He throws it.
No. I know.
He saw Kachuk, and he was trying to whatever. You never throw it through the middle of the ice, dude. Okay, hockey 101.
It's like
dumbass.
Right.
So what happens? The freaking rat gets it.
Yeah.
And this shot actually had some good zip on it, but
Lyon had no time. He couldn't come out, and it was. 1 second the puck's there, the next second Marchand's in front of him,
and bang bang. Now I've talked about this again. Defensive mistake. Bang bang. It's in the net. It's just
right. But then but the third period.
Wait.
Oh yeah, okay.
You just got to give some credit to Marchand. I hate the guy. I think he's a rat and and a pussy and whatnot. But he's a great hockey player. Okay, you can't take anything away from his talent. The guy has hockey smarts because he put it in the same spot that he put it in last game.
Right.
It had a lot more zip on it, and Lyon was toast.
Yeah.
So okay, so go ahead.
I'm just saying that the third period. At 2-2 going into the second period, I was considering the Panthers' history. I was very nervous because
but we're not there yet.
We're not there.
We're doing this game review. We're not there yet.
You told me to go on, and then
I didn't know that you were going to zip to the third period. So listen. So then
I'll just let Russ.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, you do your recap. This is the game review. This is Stu's hour. Yeah, go just chill. So Eric Stahl, man, he scores, and we take the lead again. Yeah, okay, I got you. So now we're up. Now we're up 2-1.
It's solid glass,
and there's I don't know who. I think Kachuk got tackled or something. I don't know. The referee didn't call it, and then Foligno baits Lombard into taking a slashing penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, Bertuzzi, lucky freaking Bertuzzi, the puck goes off his skate.
Right.
And we're tied.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was chippy. The game was chippy pretty much the whole night. I think Tyler Bertuzzi, I'm going to start calling him Marchand, like they say, I call Lundell Barkov Jr.
Right.
I'm going to start calling Bertuzzi Marchand Jr. Okay, so now it's 2-2, anybody's game. And then, we got to come out and just play 20 minutes of just balls to the wall. Let's take game 2. It's anybody's game. And minute and 27 seconds, the guy that's come through for us all year, Brandon Montour, great shot. Okay, so you can now take that ball.
I can
take that puck and run with that comment. Go ahead.
Oh, I can talk now.
I'll give you a couple minutes.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, you can get your merch at the link below. Support the channel. You got a nice little caricature there. I'm smoking my cigar and my puffy cheeks, and Eric with his lip gloss on. Coffee mugs. So again, you guys, get some merch and take some selfies, and we'll post it on the channel when we're doing a video.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so we'd like to see a lot of people. Hey, to those guys, what was his name? June there in Finland.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Eric will work something out. You send an email to what is it?
Flying Fluffy Hockey.
Eric at flyingfluffyhockey.com.
No, it's just flying. No, it's just flying Fluffy
Hockey at Gmail. Yeah, so he'll work something out if you want, and he'll ship it to Finland, whatever. But listen, man, support the channel, support Eric. Works really hard to bring you guys a lot of content.
And right? I appreciate that. And by the way, we have I solved the Wi-Fi problem. I'm plugged in with the Ethernet cord. I have a 500-foot Ethernet cord that I had when the old laptop wouldn't work. And the Wi-Fi was still giving me problems this morning. So I have 500 feet of Ethernet cord from downstairs all the way at one end of the house, up the stairs, down the hallway, under the door, and we're plugged in. So
yeah, so everybody, that's complaining about technical difficulties and whatnot. Listen, Eric's not a cheapskate, man. He's invested a lot of money in his equipment and whatnot, and this and that. It's not him, it's the room. The room's got such Keith Yandel vibes going through it that
that's what it is.
It's got whatever. Oh, did you show everybody the prized possession that I sent you?
Yeah. Oh, where the hell is it? Oh, wait, hold on. It's right here. Yeah.
So listen, everybody, I thought Eric should have this. It's worth a lot of money.
Actually, since this has been in the room was when the Wi-Fi problem started.
Anyway, there it is, folks. Number 3.
We're going to have a giveaway.
Keith Yandel. That puck can be yours. We're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, we're going to have a heavy-duty
what the contest is going to be. But anyway, okay.
Okay, so back to the game.
So where do we leave things? Third period. Okay, so Montour scores the goal. We're now up 3-2, and we got the Bruins. We got them on the ropes, guys.
I know.
We really do. We're taking it to them, and Lions making saves. And I just think when Montour scored that goal so early in the period, it's like when we got that third goal scored on us. It just went like.
Right.
Like the air went out of the balloon. Like they were like, WTF, man.
Right.
What's happening?
Right.
And it's wild because we took the crowd out of the game. You could feel the energy through the freaking television. I could feel the Panthers like, we're going to win this game.
I tell you one thing, I bet you won't hear it no more. I bet you, especially if we win both games in Florida, even if we split in Florida, I bet you that crowd don't start going Lion, because he let in one goal, because that didn't work out so well for him last night.
Nope. So Then you got another fantastic play by Matthew MVP Kachuk.
Yep.
Bang bang play. He finds the snipe, the puck hog, Carter Verhage, who hogs the puck and roofs it. And now we're up 4-2. And I know you're going to say you were still biting your nails through the end of the game. We scored that goal. I'm like, game over. I just knew it. So you can take it from there. I mean, it's to moot. We got an empty netter, blah blah blah.
Yeah, he's already done the whole game, so I can talk.
Well, that's my job. My job is to.
You think he's insufferable now? Wait till we win the cup. I'll just set the video up and I'll just walk out of the room.
Hey, you just show highlights of listen. I'm not bragging, but I know my shit, and I've just like you predicted the Huberdeau trade. I see things happening, and I kind of just feel things and whatnot, and I'm feeling more confident today than I have in a really long time, because it's been a rough season. It's been the Jekyll and Hyde thing. I haven't even mentioned Mr. Hyde,
right?
Even though we lost game 1.
No, we played decent.
Except, and let's go back to that comment that you made about, the Panthers basically taking off the third period. Like, hey, we've lost this game. Let's stay healthy and save our energy for game 2. Well, that came to pass, bro.
I know.
Because they had a lot of energy
in that third period. Yes,
and the Bruins were looking at that. That end of the game was ugly. Classless on the Bruins.
I think the Bruins were surprised because we were doing to them what they do to other people. They get that lead, and then we just locked it down. We just locked it down.
Yeah.
And a couple of things. One thing we got, I didn't even mention the recap. We didn't mention it here. That wasn't Barkov scoring that big goal. That was Eric Stahl. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's funny because I was recording the podcast before I knew about Bennett being out or Bennett being back. And I was desperately trying to figure out how can we make a solid top 6 without Duke. And what I came to was my thought was if Bennett wasn't back in to put Stahl at 2C. So that you could have either and maybe put Lundell next to him and have Luosterainen at 3C. And then, of course, I came in, and as I'm producing the file, the news about Bennett broke. I'm like, well, that's great, But look, and that's the other thing is that people giving grief to Barkov. I'm one of them, kind of. He's got to be more involved offensively, but at the same point, he's been so good defensively that if other guys are going to score, I mean, look, we scored 6, and he didn't. He was in front of the net when Montour scored, but if the other guys are going to score, if Barkov is just going to be his normal self and only every once in a while get a goal, I'm not going to go crazy over that. The guy who had a much better night, both of them, Forsling and Ekblad played really, really well last night.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And
yes, they did.
Somebody said, I was in a comment or on a stream, or somebody had predicted that Ekblad was going to have one of his best series. Whoever that was, speak up, because he doesn't have any goals, but he's playing really, really well.
The only knock that I'll give him is the fact that he's holding on to the puck too long. He's trying to stick handle when he shouldn't be, and he's losing battles. Don't forget, he gets bounced off the puck because he's afraid of getting another concussion or taking a bad hit, and he just in a split second, I could see it. He's got to get it on his stick and off his stick quickly. Let's just go back real quick on the Eric Stahl thing, because I know there's a lot of you out there, because, we see the chats and whatnot, that were like, Eric Stahl, why did we pick him up? What are we doing? The guy sucks. how many games did he go without scoring?
It was
And
a
then he
while.
finally scored and he went on a tear. And Eric
Yeah.
Stahl, for the money we're paying that guy, okay. And I said, if Eric Stahl can play like he did, before he had the last season he played before he took a year off,
Right.
he was like
Settle
a
down, buddy.
ghost of himself.
Right.
Eric
Right. Right.
Stahl has been rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Like he got a blood transfusion because the guy has been very valuable to this team down the
Right.
stretch. Okay. I mean, that's a clutch goal.
Yeah, no, Stahl is definitely filled in for Hornquist. That's one thing I was talking about last night.
Yeah,
Before the game.
I heard that comment. Well, I was going to get to that. Again, I don't see him coming back.
No, I know. It's
You
just
don't want to risk a guy's future.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about life for a hockey game.
yeah.
God forbid a million times, he'd come in and the Bruins, the way they're playing right now, they want to hurt people.
Right, right.
And it's ugly and I don't like it. And again, I really hope on Friday night that Maurice starts the line with Lombard, the stall line. And I hope that the Bruins put out Bertuzzi. And I want right before the opening face-off, I want Lombard to look at Bertuzzi and say, "All right, pussy, when the pucks drop, let's go. All right, let's go. Just all right, you're a pussy. Let's drop the gloves right now, here and there, and go at it."
Right.
And then I want to see Lombard kick the shit out of that freaking pussy. That's my hope. And if it happens, you heard it here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
My hope is that Duke sees the bench and Zach Dalpe is inserted on the fourth line.
100% agree with you. We talked about that.
If Duke is not going to score, we can at least replace him with a guy who's going to play solid two-way hockey and not make dumb mistakes and belongs on the fourth line.
Yeah, a guy that will take advantage of his opportunity, because he's got to be jonesing right now.
Yeah,
hoping that Maurice gives him a shot.
Right.
So he's got a lot of motivation, got a lot of incentive, and let's just face it, just like I said, Giovanni Smith should not be playing, and of course, adding Bennett,
right.
Giovanni was the odd man out.
Right.
Duke.
Yeah, just
put Dalpe in there. Come on, Maurice. I know you're watching.
Right.
Listen,
it's tough, man.
Listen to us.
I get it. He keeps hoping Duke's going to turn on, because let's be honest, if Duke was himself, we'd be in really good shape. You know what I mean?
But we would have seen it at the end of the year.
I know.
All right. I mean, the whole year was a no nothing for that guy, and again, that's why this is, I think, his sixth team.
Yeah,
he had a fluke, one good season. If he doesn't, have that injury, maybe, but it's a big maybe. He comes back and has another year.
Right.
We'll never know. But the injury did happen.
Yeah,
it's a catastrophic injury. Okay, it's not like a broken leg like Ekblad.
Right.
You come back, you put pins in his freaking leg, and whatever. An Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
it's like a thumb. You can't do shit without a thumb.
Right.
So we're in total agreement there. Duke should not be playing right now.
Right.
So
look, now we move to Friday. And
you want to talk about Lions' performance?
Sure, go ahead. We'll talk about Lions' performance. Yeah.
The Lion King is leading this team, and he got it a little bit, but the NHL Network should really be talking about this Cinderella story with this kid, 30 years old, knocked around. I did, hear more about the fact that Zito wanted him in Columbus.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Zito's really been in love with this kid for a while, and obviously finally found a way to get him. So he saved our ass a number of times
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
last night. So I'm so happy that Maurice, is sticking with him.
Yeah.
And as far as comments were made, well, what about Bob? He's making $10 million. If Bob and I said it's all about, yeah. I don't remember who threw that chat out to me last night.
I mean, how much was Fleury making when Murray took over?
I don't know. The bottom line is it's called team. Like Billy Lindsay said,
Right.
you win the cup when the guys are all focused on playing for each other, not for themselves.
Right.
So, but Bob's a human being. So, of course he wants to be the man. But if he is a man, he supports his teammate.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to go out there and gave Alex Line a big hug right after the game. Look, it's not a situation that anybody could have saw coming, but Bob knows. Bob knows you can't take a guy out that's keyed in like that. And because especially at this point, and I've kind of touched on this before, at this point, all Bob can do is screw this up. I think at this point, Bob is like, if we're going to win the cup with this dude, I'd rather that than they insert me and we lose all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And then we're going to blame Bob. So,
yeah, and they would, and I would.
Right.
That's why I said Bob hasn't played in over a month. Can you see him going in there and automatically getting in the zone and being visible? I don't see it.
No.
What I would see is a goal scored on him in the first minute, because we know that's happened in so many games. So I ride this kid all the way to the cup or all the way to, and the exit.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's where we're at. And then we'll have a decision to make what the hell we're going to do in the off. If this guy wins us a cup, I don't know what the hell we do, because he's not signed, and we already got a couple goaltenders.
Yeah, well, that will
and
be.
You don't really want to think about. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Spencer Knight, so that's the thing.
Yeah, but that will be a good problem to have. Let us do that. But I think Zito already in his head is trying to do the numbers and figure out how we're going to keep this kid, because there's going to be 31 other teams, looking to get improve their goalie situation, and here's a kid that's just proven that he could be a starter.
Right.
So,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, we'll deal with that when we come to it. So
I like the fact that the Panthers, they didn't panic at all. They just, they play, and isn't it a beautiful thing to watch? That, and you're right, Eric. We all ragged on Maurice, including myself. Like, let's get rid of him. He's lost the room. I mean, I'm gonna raise my hand and say guilty, Your Honor. Okay, I was on that bandwagon, but man, has he made us look wrong?
Well, look, he changed it. He changed that narrative on his own too, because it first started to loosen up for me. Remember when he had that tirade in Toronto, and I said, all right, he's good for the rest of the year. He's earned the respect for the rest of the year. And then of course the whole Keith Tkachuk thing, and then he lost it on his. I mean, for all we know, Keith Tkachuk and Maurice had a phone conversation and be like, this is what we're gonna do. All right. You're gonna call them a bunch of pussies, and then the same night I'm gonna ream their asses in front of the whole world, and we'll see if we get these guys. They could have set that up. Nobody knew.
I will tell you that is the turning point in the season.
Yep.
That Paul Maurice on national TV ripping into his team.
Yep.
Maybe that's that's what we needed at the time.
Eventually, I think that's what they needed. Yeah. So
as far as Barkov goes, I'm very happy with Barkov getting 3 assists.
Right.
Killing penalties. If he doesn't score, he doesn't score. we have to get the scoring from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that Verhaeghe finally got off the schneid and scored one. I thought Cousins had a really good game last night.
Yeah, that line with White, and White's been better too, man. He's winning draws. So that's coming together. But some of that is because they just getting to play with the same guys. You know what I mean? Like White was all over the lineup because of all the injuries and everything like that. And between Stahl and White, I'm not saying bring them all back, but I mean we're beating the Bruins with Stahl and White, so there's that. You know what I mean? But look, the thing that happened last night was, I think everybody kind of expected there to be one game like that last night, but they expected it to be the Bruins doing that to the Panthers. I think that's what you saw from the Bruins last night, and the crowd was just like, wait a minute, this is what we do, And the other thing to say is that last year, I believe that this is accurate because I think this is what Raven told me. I think I remember talking about this. Ullmark started, I think, the first 2 games in the playoffs, and then he kind of disintegrated, and they had to put Swayman in. And you seen Ullmark last night. Now, whether he was sick or just off, clearly that was not the same caliber of goaltending that Boston's been getting all year, because they allow a lot of shots and they depend, on their goalies. Now, if Boston makes a change and puts Swayman in, we beat the crap out of Swayman already this year. We've done well against Swayman, so I don't know that that's necessarily. If Boston's goaltending is not going to be elite, we are going to win this series.
Yep.
And that's just the way of it, because they heavily depend on. I mean, Ullmark had a below 2 goals against. So
yeah, and I don't know. I think he said March of 2021 was the last time that any team put up, a 5-spot or a 6-spot at TD Garden.
Wow.
But Ullmark did not look like he didn't look it in the first game. He did not look like a goalie, all right, that is going to win the Vezina. He did not.
No, I know.
I mean,
look
at the 2 Montour shots.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, both Montour shots, and as I told you, the first one was in that 6x6 box, top left, and then the second goal was the same thing on the left. That's where you score goals, guys.
Yep.
Verhaeghe, when Verhaeghe buried that, it was top shelf.
Maybe Barkov will see those guys burying the pucks. And next time when he's coming in, instead of trying to slide in front of the goalie and be fancy, just roof it, dude.
Absolutely.
Just roof it. It's not like he doesn't have a good shot,
Yep.
So.
Well, you said, enough with the shooting the pucks in the goalie's, midsection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's again, always emphasize at top shelf. You fire the puck at the goalie's ear.
Yeah.
Because they can't get that. They can't get it with their glove. They can't get it. But the shot's got to be perfect.
That's what they need to be practicing all summer long, is just that whole drill, the thing that they do with the All-Star game with the targets.
Yep. And that's why they have them where they have them.
Right. Yeah. It's
all right. So anyway, I guess there really isn't much more to talk about other than the shenanigans that went on at the end of the game with the fights and the, who's the more tougher team. Like I said, I would love to see something happen at the beginning of the game to set the tone that says, F you ain't going to push us around in our own building.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, here's a shot to the head for taking a cheap shot on Bennett or whoever else Bertuzzi did. Oh, Ekblad. He gave that, he cross-checked Ekblad in the back. Real tough guy move.
And the thing of it is that I don't even want them calling the penalties. I don't want the power play on the ice.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
So I watched it again. There were not 5, 6 blatant Bruin penalties that didn't get called.
Yeah.
That whole thing with the Kachuk and Bertuzzi when they got rough, that was a blatant trip on Kachuk that didn't get called.
Right.
Too
I'm
many men
fine
on
with
the
that.
ice. Too many men on the ice. The referee standing right there. Too many men on the ice.
Yep.
We got called.
I'm fine with that. I'm not even. I'm fine. I'm not even joking. I don't want the power. Every time the power play is on the ice, it cut whatever momentum we have. It's killed.
Okay.
And then last night we gave up a shorty.
5-on-5. We got these guys.
5-on-5.
We got these guys.
And all 4 right. We don't forget the 4-on-4 too. I think that was the stall goal. Now, if they want to take a guy with him and go 4-on-4, we'll play that way all night long too, right? But I don't want the 5. I don't know what happens to these guys. I don't know if it's just because the other teams, PK plays a different style against us that they don't play when it's 5-on-5. Whatever it is, I see penalty. I was saying it all night. I'm like, there's one. Don't call it. Don't call it. I was literally like hoping they didn't call it because it's so bad. It's just it's so bad.
So we come home, and this is playing into my scenario, which is I said Panthers in 6.
Yeah.
We just have to take both games.
Oh my gosh.
And go up 3-1. We have to take both games.
I know.
All right. Just there's no ands, if, or buts. Speaking of butts, my butt will be in section 121.
Fantastic.
For game 3.
Fantastic.
David's coming with me, so I'm super psyched. David's a good luck charm. Panthers usually do well when my son goes to the games.
Good.
But yeah, man, that I want to see that place sold out.
Oh yeah.
Rocking, loud as can be. Let's go Panthers before the puck drops, and just keep it up all night. There's going to be a lot of Bruins fans in the crowd, and we have to drown them out.
Yep.
So
agreed.
Again, just the keys to success in game 3 is getting the freaking Lion King a couple of goals early on. You see, we need 4 goals to win.
Right.
That's it. We need to score 4 goals.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I got to go back to the comments from the first recap. Because in the first recap, I predicted Panthers going to win 5-4. And a Bruins fan came on and called me delusional, said I'm losing it because I predicted that we were going to get 5 goals on the Bruins. I think I'll be revisiting later on today when I sit down for my break. I will definitely be sorting through some comments because I'd like to revisit. I think I'm going to pin that comment.
Well, again, if you go back to my original tweet about nobody gives us a snowball chance in hell, I think the NHL Network was just like, oh shit, we have to talk about how good the Panthers played.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants us to win this series.
Nope.
Because it's a storybook story. The greatest team on paper, the greatest team in the history of hockey.
Now, last thing I'll say,
they already have them winning the cup, and it ain't gonna happen.
Last thing I'll say, is if we can beat this team, I'll put it this way: I sure as hell ain't looking out at the West going, ain't nobody in the West I'm afraid of. Okay, the Rangers and the Canes, because Tampa Bay is going to beat Toronto, and then we're going to take out Tampa Bay.
Yeah, if we play now, somebody asked me that question, and I kind of smashed them down a little bit because I really don't even want to think about round 2 and hypotheticals and Bob and who do you want to play, Tampa or Toronto? Listen, we're only 2 games into this series. Let's win this series, and then we can talk about it.
And you can be like that, but remember, with 10 games left in the season, I was like, I'm already here. I'm not going back. I refuse to go back. That was my prediction before the season, and I'm just all in, bro. I'm just all in. I don't know. I can't go back now. I'm all in.
It would be poetic justice if we match up with Tampa in the second round and just finally put that to bed and beat them.
Yes. Yes.
If we're going to win the cup, the road goes through Tampa,
Hmm.
and it's time. It's our time. Why not us? It's our
Why not?
time to
Yeah.
beat those MFers. But
All right, ladies
we
and
still got to
gentlemen.
win this series, and
We're winning this series. We're
we're
winning
winning
this.
this.
We're winning this series.
Panthers in 6. I laid it out. Win the
Okay.
2 games at home.
Yeah.
Go back. Bruins win game 5, and we come back and we just put it all out there and win game 6.
Okay.
I don't want game 7
I'm
in
in.
Boston.
I'm in. I'm in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, really appreciate all the support. Lots of new subscribers, lots of new members. I will be back a little bit later with the podcast, and then Kyle and I will be back tonight streaming Toronto versus Tampa. I'll have my thunder stick helping irritate the hell out of Kyle because Kyle's rooting for Toronto. Obviously, I'm rooting for Tampa. So if you enjoy the banter between Stu and I, you should see the look on Kyle's face when Tampa scores and I'm smashing that thunder stick in his ear. So appreciate all the support. And yeah, we'll see you again